Hello. I was tagged by Alyssa, aka Nerdy Nurse Reads. Thank you, Alyssa. Random ruminations on being a booktuber. Right, let's begin. Do you feel obliged to read? Only in so much as that I also feel obliged to breathe oxygen and eat food to stay alive. Reading for me is an essential part of who I am. If I have to stand in a line for more than 5 seconds and I do not have a book with me, I'm livid with my own self for not bringing a book and having it handy. The moment I put a book down in completion, I go to the bookshelf and I decide what is the next book that I'm going to read. I don't take a day off. I love reading. It is perhaps the most fundamental part of who I am. That being said, as you can see, I'm visiting my Japanese in-laws. I haven't read anything since I got off the airplane, but I don't feel compelled. There is no outside force beside my own love of reading, which is compelling me to read books. I am surely not reading it just for YouTube. I do it for my own sake. The reason I started the channel was because I've read quite a lot. I've read a lot of obscure books. I've read a lot of books that I don't think a lot of people know about. And the reason I started this channel was because I wanted to share those books with you. The best part of being a YouTuber, I've been able to recommend books to people and they've come back to me and said, thank you. I read that book and it was fantastic. I can't believe that book is not more popular. Like, for example, Mrs. Palfrey at the Claremont. I was so happy to make that video. Some incredibly great literature that seems to be a little bit obscure because it's overlooked because of other bigger books or more popular books or books that are more often taught at university not having the room for these books on professors' syllabus. For example, The Alexandria Quartet by Lawrence Durrell, one of my all-time absolute favorites. Even though it is extremely popular and it does have a lot of fans, my goal with this channel is to spread the word a little bit more and try to get more people to read great books that are just eclipsed. There are hundreds and thousands of great books to read, and if you don't know about them, then I feel it's my obligation to share them with you. God, Grant, that was such a long answer. Come on. Succinct. Do you feel obliged to make content? Yes, I do. Today is Wednesday, and I like to have a new video ready every Friday. So I do feel obliged to make content. Well, I have some supporters on Patreon. Thank you guys. Thank you so very much. And they're donating money just to show their appreciation for the amount of work that I put in. In return, I feel some obligation that, yeah, I need to get the new video ready because they're waiting for it. They want to see it. They're supporting the channel. I suppose they expect to get a little bit back in return. And here it is. There was one point recently where I took a bit of a break. Instead of posting every week, I posted every second week, and I felt really bad about it. I felt that I was being lazy and I was letting people down. And there was a bit of a secondary question about, do you feel obliged to read what's popular, or do you feel obliged to read certain books? Me, absolutely no. Like, if you watch the channel, or if you just have a look at the kinds of videos that I've made and the books that I like to talk about, I talk about such strange, lost literature that I don't read any modern stuff. And I've said several times on this channel that I don't like modern literature. I find it to be very superficial. So no, absolutely not. I feel no compulsion whatsoever to read what's popular or read certain books because they're trendy. You know, like David Salai just won the Booker Prize, and he's a English Hungarian, and I know that his book, what's it called, Flesh, is set in Budapest, and that book might really speak to me, but I'm not going to go out and borrow it from the library and read it just because I want to talk about it on YouTube. I would rather read some classic Hungarian literature because I feel that that's my channel, that's my niche, right? All right, question 2. Numbers aren't everything, or are they? I like it when my videos do well, and I am disappointed when I feel that I've made a good video, which I think will be popular, and it doesn't turn out to be. However, so when you start your YouTube channel, you get this channel dashboard. which hopefully you're seeing right now. When you make a new video, it has this latest video performance, and as you can see, there's the last video that I put out 4 days ago, Alan Silito's The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner, and it gives you these numbers. For example, ranking by views, 10 of 10. All right, so pretty shit performance on this video. Views, 103. So not even in my average, as you can see, between 120 and 160. And remember, this is within this time limit of 4 days and 14 hours. So it's comparing all of the popular videos within this time limit. Impression click-through rate, I don't know what that is. And I know that good YouTubers do know what that is, and they pay attention to what the click-through rate is. However, I don't know what it is. That's my fault for being lazy. I guess I don't take this YouTube channel as seriously as I should, you know, like a real business venture. For me, it's a hobby, and I don't want to get too obsessed with my hobby. Average view duration, 5 minutes. Okay, well, that's not so bad. People watch for 5 minutes. So 103 views for 5 minutes, that's 500 minutes. What does that mean? Well, nothing. You know, I'm a little YouTuber. As you can see right here, this is how many subscribers I have, 3,193. This is how many views I've got in the last 28 days, 5.5 thousand. Watch time, 461.7 hours. And there's how much money I make as a YouTuber, $43.06 a month. Just having said that, now would be a good time to ask you to leave a tip. If you see me right here, and then you go down to the bottom of just below this, there's a little circle with 3 dots. And if you click on that, there is another button that is shaped like a heart, and it says support. And if you click on that, you can leave me a tip to show your appreciation for being such a good sport and making all these YouTubes. Won't you please leave me a tip? Maybe even subscribe to my Patreon page, which there is a link below. Every week I'm writing a blog. Recently I've been posting a lot of very exotic photos from Japan, and that's all private stuff that's only available on Patreon. Also, I talk about the books that I'm going to be making videos of. I talk about my plans for the future. So Patreon, if you like the videos, is very good value. Or just leave a tip, you stingy bastards. Won't you? It's Christmas. I need a new jacket. I look at those numbers, but when I publish the new video, I immediately forget about the last one. So as soon as I make this video that you're watching right now, I will start to wonder about the numbers that I'm doing here. And the Alan Silito video just fades into the background. Like sometimes, there's something else I could show you. There's one more thing I could show you here. All right, so what I do is I go over here to analytics, and this is a breakdown of what's been happening for the last 28 days. You can see views, watch time, subscribers, 71, 6 less than usual. Subscribe, please subscribe. And how much money? I don't know why, for whatever reason, on Tuesday, November the 18th, I made $5.78 on that one day. But then I go down here and it shows me the most popular videos in the last 28 days. The Crying of Lot 41, 338 views, okay. Brideshead Revisited. Like these videos here are almost always the ones that are here, probably because these are some of the books that people have to read at university. Bram Stoker's Dracula, that was a recent one. This is a strange one. The School for Scandal. I don't know why people are clicking on that video. It is such an obscure old play. I think perhaps I might be the only one who's ever made a video on the School for Scandal. So if anybody is teaching this play, students are just naturally going to find my video and click on it. The Unbearable Lightness of Being. That is far and away my most popular video. The Wild Ass's Skin, that was a recent published one as well. Of Human Bondage by Somerset Maugham. There are the top 10 popular videos in the last 28 days. So come on, Grant, get on with the video. It's been too long. All right. Do you feel pigeonholed? No, not at all. I read whatever I want to read. I take a bit of pride in the fact that I go from country to country. I read some 19th century French literature, Balzac. Then I read The Catcher in the Rye by Salinger. And after that is this one. I go all over the place, usually country to country. I try to read some Canadian literature, read some Japanese literature, read some European literature, South American literature, because that's how I love to appreciate literature, country to country to country. And also I try to mix up the ages. I don't want to read 2 books from the 1920s back to back because it's kind of the same feeling. I don't want to read 2 books about the Second World War. I like to mix it up quite a lot. There's no possible way I'm pigeonholed. Only to the degree that I have plans for my YouTube channel, which I'm not very good at fulfilling. 3 years ago, I started doing my video reviews of the 100 greatest English written novels of the 20th century as chosen by the Modern Library. I haven't finished yet. I will finish in 2026. See, but that's my own obligation that I've set for myself. Are you reading for the algorithm? No. If you're going to make videos about Emile Zola, I don't think anyone's ever going to accuse you of reading just for the algorithm. I love Somerset Maugham. Is Somerset Maugham really tipping the scales on the algorithm? I don't think so. Occasionally, because I talk about classic literature, I suppose some of my videos are getting clicks because of university reading, high school reading. That's just because I love classic literature. I'm not specifically, when I did a review of A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, I was fairly critical of the book and how popular it is with university professors. And I got people criticize me like, your comments were inappropriate and stupid. Well, so you say, but that's my opinion and it's my channel. And that's how I felt when I read the book. I'm not reading for the algorithm. Oh, in Alyssa's video and in KD Book's video, they talk about ARCs, and I had to look that up. ARCs, A-R-C-S, is an abbreviation for Advanced Review Copies. So this is the publishing company is sending them free books to review on their channel. I have to admit, I was temporarily consumed with jealousy. No publishing company has ever offered to send me any free books. I think it's perfectly reasonable that no publishing company would want to send me any modern literature. I have been adamant in my complete disregard and dismissal of modern literature. I am not interested. And whenever I read it, it just reaffirms how much I dislike modern writing. Although I was, goddamn, why are they getting the free books? Why isn't anybody sending grantlovesbooks free books? Well, because the books you like are 100 years old, Grant. Do you really want a big pile of modern books appearing at your door? No, of course not. Of course not. Anyway, Alyssa and KD Books, congratulations with your free books from companies. Temporarily consumed with jealousy. And then I realized I have no use for modern literature anyway. Although, I will say this, some people who like my channel, I guess we might say they are my fans, have sent me quite a lot of books. My friend Jack sent me a copy of Wuthering Heights and sent me a copy of Germinal by Emile Zola. My friend Michael in Portland, Oregon sent me quite a few books. I embarrassed myself here. Michael has sent me quite a few books. They just don't immediately come to mind. One of them by Zola, The Belly of Paris. I know he sent me that and some other stuff. And I've got another friend, John, also in Portland, Oregon. He sent me a lot of books. Ned Merrill, you can see, often leaves comments on my videos. He sent me an Amazon gift card so I can buy some books, and he also sent me a book by Carlos Castaneda, which I haven't read, and I'll get round to that soon enough, Ned. And also Travis recently sent me a book. So people have sent me books, the kinds of books that I want. And then I also get people who, they want to send me their unpublished manuscripts, and I kindly tell them that I'm not interested because of how I feel about modern literature. And I understand they're hustling. I'm not annoyed, but I just tell them that, there's no point sending it to me because I don't have time. I get a little bit irked, because if you watch my channel and you know that I like to talk about George Orwell, Milan Kundera, Thornton Wilder, if you know that I like that kind of literature, why do you think I would be interested in some modern book that you've just written which hasn't been published? No problem with your hustle, but at least check the YouTuber that you're contacting. Do you really think I would be interested in your stuff? Did you do your due diligence and find out what kinds of books I would be interested before you just sent me a random email like, hey Grant, you want to read my book about, it's a manga, it's about some queer vampires who are you out of your fucking head? Do you think I would like to read that? Is this the channel for that kind of stuff? You think? All right, last question. What's the worst part of content creation? For me, it's simply the finding the time to record and do the editing, because I have a 2.5-year-old son. It's hard to find the quiet time where I can make this video and do the editing on this video, because now we're in Japan, the grandparents are here, so they can take him out to the playground, and I've got lots of time. I'm in a separate room, but when we're in my little tiny apartment in New Westminster, there's so little time, especially now when the weather's bad, because, you know, my wife, Yukari, who is so understanding when it comes to my little YouTube hobby, like, she really is so kind, because I don't know if I would have this much patience with someone. Anyway, thank you to my wonderful wife, Yukari, for supporting me and, you know, my little YouTube fandango, because she does. I tell her, I would like to make some videos this week. Will there be a good day where you could take Matthew to the library for a couple of hours, take him to the park, take him to the library, just take him out of the house for 2 hours so I can have that time to record? That's the worst, because I feel bad. There's no other option. I have to record them at home. I have to record them in a quiet space. Occasionally I get some shitty comments, but rarely. I had one that was kind of funny, and normally I don't reply to the shitty comments. I just sort of leave them. That comes with the territory, right? Like, if you're gonna put your voice out there, you've got to be prepared for people to say, hey, I disagree with you. Totally cool with that. And even when people get quite snarky, still it's okay. It kind of makes me smile if it's done in a clever way. It's normally not done in a clever way, and usually I just let it go. I want to bring out the daggers immediately, but I said, Grant, sleep on it. See you tomorrow if you feel the same way. If you want to light this guy up, do it tomorrow. The next day I'll look at it and say, yeah, that's just some nonsense. I don't need to reply to that. But occasionally, I will reply. And why don't I show you an example of that? I'm looking for some dickhead who left a comment on my James Joyce Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man video. There it is. All right. So this comment comes from Lank Skid. So Lank Skid says, it seems all but impossible to find commentators who can talk seriously about Joyce and his works. YouTube abounds with people who, due to their apparent lack of integrity, take the author and work and proceed to turn their commentary into a lame attempt at a comedy routine for their own ends. This video is just another such offering. Thumbs down, Lank Skid. So I had to reply to that one, and here's my reply. This free YouTube website with all of the free content isn't giving me the deeply philosophical content that I deserve for free. Wah. Go take a university course for $3,000, and if you don't like all the bullshit they give you, then you can complain about something. What a stupid tit you are to leave a comment like this. I will leave it here as a testament to your annoying petulance. What other videos do you leave comments on? These children are not playing with the toys in a way that I think they should be played with. Stupid tit, Lank Skid. Have I ever left negative comments on other people's videos? I think there have been times where I wanted to, but then I thought about it and realized, well, who gives a shit about my opinion? My tiny, squeaky little opinion on somebody else's YouTube efforts. All right, rambling away too much. So thank you, Alyssa, for nominating me, and thank you, Katie Books, for coming up with this book tag. It was fun. I like doing this. You know, I've been doing this for 4.5 years, and it's really become quite a part of my life. Like any good hobby. I read books, I think about how I can do something that will encourage people to read those books, and I do this. I know I put in some effort, and I could be putting in more, like if I learned about the click-through rate, if I learned how to do a better job with the editing, but I'm pretty satisfied with the way things are going. But of course I would like 10,000 subscribers. And if I had 10,000, I'd want 50,000. It's just like that. Will I get them? Probably not. All right, video's long enough. Thank you very much for watching. This is Grant Loves Books. I am a booktuber, even though I hate the title and the video. Every time. Okay. Am I recording now? Is this recording? God damn it. Is it recording? Oh, for fuck's sake. Is it recording? Oh, it is. Okay. Ay, not like that, Grant. Not like that, Grant. Well, how do I do it? Stop. Okay. Hang on. So I'm going to have to do this a different way. Shift Control 5. Capture entire screen. All right.